Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. On this video, I will share you guys what are the questions that Aramco evaluator will ask you during evaluation for rule of the road subject. It will be much better for you guys to remember and understand the whole correct rules, and also the ILA buoy system, the color of the buoy, the light characteristic, the top mark, so you can probably answer every question that asked by the evaluator. Well, for the Collreg, the important rule on the Collreg that you need to understand is steering and sailing rules on rule number 4 until rule number 19. Then light and shapes on rule 20 to 31, and sound and light on rule number 32 until 37, and the annexes, annex 1 until annex 4. The questions and answer I have here are samples only that I get from the previous officers who have passed the evaluation. So it might be not the same question that evaluator will ask you, but the point is you guys know what typical question will be asked during the evaluation. Let's go to the sample question type and the answer. We have here sample number 1. At a clear night, you sight white light. What does it mean to you? White light, it may be a stern light of a vessel. It can be small boat less than 7 meters long and speedless 7 knots. It may be vessel at anchor less than 50 meter length. It can be masthead light of vessel less than 50 meter length at far-away, so that side light cannot be sighted yet, and it can be live raft top white light. Well, we have sample question number 2. What action to be taken if you detect fishing boat on close quarter situation at your port side? As per Collreg rule number 18, responsibilities between vessels, I will take action in ample time to avoid any collision by altering course to starboard, keep away from the fishing boat, and pass at safe distance. Okay, next question. What are the lines and dayship that are required to be shown by a vessel aground? And if you see a vessel aground ahead of you, right on your course, what action would you take? The dayships for vessel aground are 3 black ball in vertical line, and at night she shall exhibit 2 around red light in vertical line, and also the anchor light. If I see a vessel aground ahead of my course, I will stop immediately my vessel, establish my position by GPS, radar, land bearing, etc. Use echo sounder to find the depth. If the passage plane I made was normally not transiting on dangerous water, it means there are 2 possible situations when I see a vessel aground right ahead of my course. The first situation, my vessel might be out of a course and proceeding to shallow water. Second situation, my course is correct, but the vessel which aground has a deep draft. Well, in case I found my ship proceeding to shallow water, I would navigate exit the area by attempting to follow the same track over the ground that I covered when I approached that area. So what the inspector is looking is understanding of the whole situation, and he wants to know what you would do into the actual situation. Well, we go to another questions. If you detected a vessel crossing on your port side, then which is the giveaway vessel and which is the stand-on vessel? The vessel on your port side is the giveaway vessel, and he must take action to avoid collision. Yeah. Reference to above question, if the other vessel didn't take any action, then what you will do? I will take action to avoid collision by altering my course to starboard, keep away from him, even I have to make full turn to starboard. Well, if you are on crossing situation with other vessel on your starboard side, which is the giveaway vessel and which is the stand-on vessel. Your vessel is the giveaway vessel and you should take action to avoid collision. A reference to question above, what is the first thing you will do in that situation? Well, in any situation with other vessels, I have to check if a risk collision is exists by watching the bearing and distance of other vessels. If the bearing steady and distance decrease, it means there is a risk of collision. Well, we go to another questions. During unrestricted visibility and your vessel detect the presence of another vessel with a risk of collision exists, close quarter situation is developing, what action to be taken in this condition? Well, according to Rule 19D, I shall avoid an alteration of course to port for a vessel forward of the beam, other than for a vessel being overtaken. And I shall avoid an alteration of course toward the vessel beam or above the beam. Well, next sample questions. You are crossing Spurgeon scheme with the following ships using it. One vessel coming up from your port side and another coming down from your starboard side. What is your action? The normal answer that we will wait until both vessels are clear, then we can cross the Spurgeon scheme as close to right angle as possible. However, as per the rules of the road, the two above vessels using the Spurgeon scheme are not relieved from their obligation under any other rules, which mean that also the vessel using Spurgeon scheme shall comply with other rules of collision prevention and shall take necessary action to avoid collision. Okay, next sample question. What is your action in foggy time with visibility less than half nautical mile? So, in restricted visibility, we have to reduce speed for a safe maneuvering speed, inform the master, pause and keep proper lookout by sight and hearing, and inform the engineer for standby and keep main engines ready for immediate maneuver. Give sound signal and switch on the navigation light, and use of the radar or ARPA equipment to obtain early warning risk of collision. Is by switch on both radar or one in long range 6 to 12 nautical mile and one in short range 1 to 3 nautical mile. We have to frequently check position of the vessel and plotting course. If any dangerous object for navigation is to be clearly marked and avoided. Switch on eco sounder to keep the seabed line under control and use manual steering. Well, we go to another question. It's about the distress signal, which is we can find on the Collreg Annex 4. So please mention at least 5 distress signals, name and method of indicating. Okay, the first is a gun or other explosive signal fired at interval but 1 minute, and then a continuous sounding with any fog signaling apparatus, and then rocket or shells throwing a red stars fired at a time at a short intervals, a signal made by any other signaling method consisting of SOS in the Morse code, and a signal sent by radio telephony consisting of the spoken word Mayday, and then the international code signal of distress indicated by a November Charlie flag, a signal consisting of a square flag having above or below it a ball and flames on the vessel as from a burning tar barrel or oil barrel, a rocket parachute flare or a hand flare showing a red light, and orange smoke signal, slowly and repeatedly raising and lowering arm outstretched to each side, and then distress alert by DSC facilities on VSF channel 70 and on MFHF on the frequencies to 187.5 and some other frequencies. Ship to shore distress alert by the Inmarsat or other mobile satellite service provider. Signal transmitted by the EPIRB, and then approved signal transmitted by a radio communication system, including the radar transponder. And for track attention, the aircraft rescue team, we can give signal a piece of orange color canvas with either a black square and a circle or other appropriate symbol, and a die marker. Well, next is about IL buoyage. Understanding the color, top mark, and characteristic of IL buoy will help you guys to properly answer the question asked by the evaluator. Sometimes they ask to draw on the rough paper the detail of the buoy, the color, the top mark, and the light characteristic, and sometimes they ask problem solving, asking what action should we take if we see such a buoy, example a cardinal. Well, next is the sample question regarding the IL buoy. If you're heading directly towards a cardinal buoy from the safe side of a cardinal buoy, what action should you take? The first, I must stop my vessel immediately and establish my position by GPS, radar, land bearing, etc. Use echo sounder to find the depth. My vessel probably off course because the passage plan will not head into the dangerous water. My vessel also might be on correct course and the cardinal buoy has drifted out of the position, and also maybe the cardinal buoy could be marking a new danger. After establishing position, I will exit the area by attempting to follow the same track over the ground that I covered when approaching that area. So what the inspector want to hear is that you realize that you are heading into the potential dangerous water, or that you are already in dangerous water. Well, let's go to next question. What action to be taken when vessel negotiating area of shallow water? Well, the shallow water as per RMK manual is depth less than 10 meters. So when I have to negotiating in shallow water, I will switch on the echo sounder to keep the seabed line under control. I will reduce speed for safe speed to avoid any squad evac. I will check the vessel UKC using a tide table and comply with the minimum UKC requirement as per the offshore manual, and inform with the engineer for standby and keep main engine ready for emergency maneuvering. Frequently check position on the chart and plotting course. Maintain good lookout, use manual steering, and check the tide or weather condition. And aware of density of the navigation traffic, dangerous area for navigation, and reporting procedure of VTS communication. Well, that's all about the sample question type and answer on a rule of the road subject. For you guys who still feel need more understanding on rule of the road, I recommend you to visit another YouTube channel talking about it and Googling it. I put some link on the description that you can visit regarding the YouTube channel or website that you can learn about the rule of the road. Thank you for watching. See you on next video.